Okay, so mm, this is the lecture number 3 of electrical engineering course. So today we will study about the mesh analysis, nodal analysis. After that, we will see some of the theorems like superposition theorem, Thevenin's theorem, Norton theorems. So these are the techniques in order to reduce the given circuit in a simplified manner. Okay. So these are the circuit reduction techniques so that we will be able to calculate current, voltage, power of any given circuit in a simple manner or quickly. So yesterday we have already studied about KCL and KVL laws, the two basic laws that are called Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. Remember that Kirchhoff's current law will be applicable to calculate the current in a given circuit. KVL will be for the current or I. KCL will be applicable to calculate the current. KVL will be applicable to calculate the voltage V. Okay. So after that, we will see mesh analysis and nodal analysis. So these two laws will be applicable to these analysis and the theorems. So first we will see mesh analysis. What is a mesh analysis? In a mesh analysis, we have to follow the KVL law, Kirchhoff's voltage law, that is for the voltage calculation, because it will be easy to apply KVL in a given mesh or loop. So let us see the first example. This is the given circuit and we have to apply the KVL in this loop and in this loop. This can be called as loop or mesh, and this will be the third loop, but this is not this will not be the mesh. Okay. Yes. So how to apply KVL? Well, let us take the mesh number 1. In mesh number 1, we have to apply our KVL equation, right? So first we have to go around the loop. If current is flowing in this manner, in this direction, so there will be voltage drop across this element, then there will be a voltage drop across this element. So we have to apply KVL, and how can we write 10 volts, because there is a potential rise if you are going in this direction. So plus 10 volts minus 10 into I1 minus 40 into I1, that will be equals to 0. This is the KVL equation 1. Again, in this direction, if I2 is flowing, so what will be the notation of the voltage? Means this will be at higher potential and this will be at the lower potential, so there will be voltage drop. After that, plus and minus, so there will be voltage drop, and here in this direction there will be a voltage drop. So how to write the equation? Wait. हेलो. हाँ. हाँ बताइए. हाँ. Okay. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Let us continue with that. Yes. So how to write the KVL equation for the second loop? Okay. So we will start from here. Means in this direction, if we are going in this direction, so there will be voltage drop. So minus 20 I, then minus 20. This will be I2, then minus 20, then minus 40 I2. Sorry, I2 minus I1, and here it will be, here this will be I1 minus I2 minus 40 I1 minus I2, because the current is flowing like this. The two currents are there, so the total current that is flowing up through this branch will be I1 minus I2 if we consider mesh number 1, and in this direction if we consider the mesh number 2, then the total current will be flowing like this, I2 minus I1. So this is how we have to write the KVL equation if we want to apply mesh analysis in a given circuit. Next, in this example, how to write the KVL equation. As you can see, there are two loops L1. This is the loop number 1, this is the loop number 2, and this will be the loop number 3. Then first we want to apply KVL equation in mesh number 1. Okay, so how to write plus minus, then if current is flowing in this direction I1, then there will be plus minus, there will be plus and minus. So for the mesh number 1, the KVL equation will be Vs equals to R1 I1 minus R2 I1 minus I2 equal okay, equation number 1. Now if you consider this mesh number 2, then how to write the equation? Yes, this will be at higher potential and this will be at the lower potential. Now I am going into this direction. So how to write the equation? Minus R3 I2 minus, what is R2 I2 minus I1 equal to 0. This will be the second equation. So this is how you have to write the KVL equations for a given mesh. Next, in this example, in example number 2, either you can go for nodal analysis or mesh analysis. Means in case of mesh analysis, you have to apply KVL equation. In case of nodal analysis, you can apply KCL equation. How to write the KCL equation? Let us see. As you know, this is the node number 1, this is the node number 2, and this is the node number 3, and this will be as at the reference node, and reference node is grounded with 0 volts. Okay, so there are 3 nodes, and these nodes are having the potential VA, VB and VC. So how to write KCL equation? Now we will see the KCL equation. So first we have to consider this node number 1. So at node number 1, KCL equation will be if the current is flowing like this in this direction through the source, if current is flowing like this, and if current is flowing like this. So how to write the equation? 90 minus VA, sorry, yeah, one thing I wanted to say, this node and this node, okay, this node is having the potential of 90 volts, so VA is directly 90 volts. Now if VA is 90 volt, then how to apply the KCL equation? VA minus VC divided by R1, because the current is going like this and current is going like this, and there will be another current. So this equals to, means the incoming current equals to outgoing current, the sum of the outgoing currents. So VA minus VC divided by R1 equals to VC divided by R2 plus VC minus VB divided by R3. This will be the KCL equation at node number 1. Now, if we want to write the KVL equation, means that if we want to go for mesh analysis, then how to write the equations? Then in that case, we have to consider this mesh. In mesh number 1, we want to write KVL equation. Okay, so how to write this? If current is flowing in this direction, then there will be a potential drop across this, then there will be voltage drop across this element, and then we have to write the equation. That means 90 volts minus R1 into I1 minus R2, I1 minus I2 equal to 0. This will be equation number 1. Likewise, in case of mesh number 2, if current is flowing like this, so you can see that these two are in opposite direction, so I2 will be equals to minus of 5 amperes, because I2 is flowing like this. Okay, I2 is flowing like this, so I2 will be minus 5 amperes. And how to write the equation? This will be at positive higher potential, this will be at lower potential. Then this will be at higher potential, this will be at the lower potential, but we can't write the complete equation, means because there will be a potential drop across this element also, and let us say this voltage is delta V. Then KVL equation will be minus 8 I2 minus delta V minus 6 I2 minus I1 equals to 0, but we have to find out the value of delta v. It has to be given, otherwise we can't calculate the delta v. Okay, so this is how we have to apply mesh analysis. Likewise, if we want to go for the nodal analysis, so let us start with this example, example number 3. So basically we have to apply the KCL equation at a given particular node. Okay, this is the given node. So KCL will be uh, I2 is the incoming current, I3 is the incoming current, and sum of these equals to the sum of outgoing current. So KCL equation at this node will be I2 plus I3 equals to I1 plus I4. And what will be I1? Let us say this node is having the voltage V1. So I1 will be V1 divided by R1. Then, yeah, here you can see if all are grounded. Okay, if all are grounded, then this potential value will be V1 will be equals to Vg. Okay, then your what hmm. Okay, so this is how you have to write the KCL equation. After that, let us see the example number 2. This is first terminal and this is the second terminal. So the total voltage across this will be total V equals to Vx minus Vy if current is flowing in this direction. If we are considering this convention, then there will be potential drop across this element, and hence the voltage, total voltage will be Vx minus Vy, and the current, total current will be I equals to Ixy, and you can see that Iyx is the opposite of Ixy, so that's why Iyx equals to minus of Ixy, because the current value is same but the direction is different. Now in this case, what will be the total voltage across this? V will be V if the current is flowing in this direction. Okay, so V equals to Vx minus I into R minus E minus Vy. So total V equals to Vxy, that will be IR plus E. Yeah. Likewise, you have to apply KCL equation at this node, at this node, at this node, and at this node. There are four number of nodes, and these nodes are at the ground potential. Okay, so the potential value will be 0. 0 volts, 0 volts. So what will be the potential at this node? Va, Vb, Vc, and Vd. Okay, so Vd will be at 0 volts, Vc will be at 0 volts, Va will be at V in, and Vb will be, let us say this current value is I2. So Vb will be I2 into Z2. Okay, because there will be potential drop. This is at 0 volts and this is at Vb. So total Vb minus 0 equals to I2 into Z2. Yeah, so next we will go for superposition theorem. I already told you about the superposition theorem in our last class. So I'm continuing from that. Yeah, so in this theorem what we have to calculate, let us see the first example. It is asking that we have to calculate the current that is flowing through this resistance using the superposition theorem. So in superposition theorem you already know that it will be applicable to linear and bilateral circuit. So yes, this is the linear and bilateral circuit, and that's why the superposition theorem is applicable to this circuit. And the second thing, there are different independent sources, means there is more than one independent sources, and that's why we can go for the superposition theorem. Means we can consider 20-volt source in our step 1, and we can consider 4 amperes of source in our step 2. Means we can calculate the current flowing through this 20 ohm resistor by considering each source separately. After that, we can add those two currents, and hence we can calculate the total current that is flowing across the 20 ohm resistance, right? So first we have to go for the step 1. What is the step 1? In step 1, we want to consider this source first, 20-volt source. So we have to kill this source. So how to kill a current source means we have to make it as an open circuit. Okay, current source has to be open circuited, and voltage source has to be short circuited. So if we make it as an open circuit, so there will be no current that is flowing across this. So I through 4 ampere is 0. Then we can calculate the current that is flowing through 20 ohm resistance, and that will be your I1. So how to calculate the I1? First, we have to calculate the total resistance. This is the total resistance. Our total will be what? 10 plus 20, 30 ohm. And 30 ohm is in parallel with the 10 ohm. Okay. Then 10 ohm is in series with the 5 ohm. So our total will be this number. After that, how to calculate the I1? I1 will be 20 volts divided by R total, and that value will be 0.4 ampere. After that, in our second step, we have to kill this source, this voltage source, and it has to be short circuited like this so that the voltage across this will be 0. So this is short circuited, and we have to consider 4 ampere of source. So first we want to calculate the R total. So how to calculate the R equivalent means we have to, yes, we have to calculate the R equivalent from this side. Okay. No, no. As we want to calculate I20, that is I2. So we have to calculate R equivalent across A and B terminals. Now, how to calculate the R total? R total will be looking this side, 5 ohm and 10 ohm are in parallel. After that, this combination is in series with 10 ohm resistance. So the R total will be this number, and then we have to apply the current division rule. mm, like this. So R equivalent, this number will come. Then we want to calculate, this is the total current. Then we want to calculate this I20 ohm. So we have to go for the current division rule. So what will be the current division rule? 4 ampere into the this R equivalent divided by R equivalent plus 20. So that value will be 1.6 ampere. Then the total current that is flowing through 20 ohm resistance will be I1 plus I2, and that will be 1.6 plus zero point 0.4, that is 2 ampere. So that will be your answer. You please practice this question and solve it by yourself. I'm giving you hints. I've given already the answers, but you have to solve by your own. Can you please give me a confirmation text? Are you following, or is there any doubt? If any doubt is there, then you can ask. Otherwise, I will continue. Next, next theorem is Thevenin's theorem. What does it say? Thevenin's theorem states that it is possible to simplify any linear circuit. This is any linear bilateral circuit, okay? Circuit, or we can say this is a given system or an electric circuit, irrespective of how complex it is. Means this linear network can have different sources, independent or dependent sources, different passive elements. So many things can be there in a given network. Then according to Thevenin's theorem, it is possible to simplify this linear circuit to an equivalent circuit with a single voltage source and a series resistance. Means this linear circuit can be converted like this. Okay, so there will be a single independent source and a single equivalent resistance, and that equivalent resistance will be called as RTH, that is Thevenin resistance, and this voltage source will be called as VTH, that is equivalent voltage source across these two terminals. This is the load resistance. Across these, we want to calculate our V Thevenin, that will be the Thevenin voltage, total voltage, offered by this linear network, and there will be a total current that is flowing across this load resistance, and there will be an equivalent resistance that is called as Thevenin resistance, that is seen from this side, means across the terminals A and B, so that we can calculate the current that is flowing through this load resistance, and hence we can calculate the power also, that is IL square RL or VL square divided by RL. That is the technique to calculate current or voltage across the load resistance, so that we can simplify any linear bilateral network to a simple network with a voltage source and an equivalent resistance. That linear circuit is converted like this. So let us see the example. This is the example in which they have given two sources, 10 volts and 20 volts, and there are three resistors that are connected in this manner. Now, what we have to calculate? We have to calculate equivalent resistance R Thevenin and equivalent voltage across these two terminals, across A and B terminals. So how to calculate that? First, we want to calculate equivalent resistance seen from these two terminals. R Thevenin we want to calculate. So how to calculate R equivalent? First, we want to kill these sources, so that there will be only resistances in this given network. This is the first step. First, we want to calculate the R total. So as you can see that across these two terminals, 10 ohm resistor and 20 ohm resistor are in parallel, and that's why we have to calculate it like this: 20 into 10, 20 in parallel with 10. So 20 into 10 divided by 20 plus 10, that will be 6.67 ohm. And now we want to go for the second step. So in second step, what we have to do, we have to, this 40 ohm is our load resistance, okay? So we have to remove this first. Yes, if we have removed it, then we want to calculate the total voltage drop across this two terminals. So we have to go for the mesh analysis, because it is easy to apply a KVL equation here. As you can see, there is a single mesh or loop, so that we can apply our KVL equation. How to apply our KVL equation? If the current is flowing in this direction, so there will be potential drop across 20 ohm resistance, then there will be potential drop across 10 ohm resistance. Likewise, we can write the equation like this: 20 volts minus 20 into I minus 10 into I minus 10 equal to 0. So 10 equals to 30 I, then I will be 10 by 30, that will be 0.33 amperes. And then you can calculate your VTH. Yes, here you can calculate your VTH. There are two ways: VTH or VAB or VAB. There are two ways. First, how to calculate? Because current is flowing is this in this direction, and there is a potential drop. So VTH will be 20 minus 20 into I, and you can put the value of I. So you will get 13.33 volts, or you can write it like this. If you want to go into this direction, means minus 10 into I minus 10 volts equals minus 10 volts equals to 0. So yes, VTH minus 10I minus 10 equal to 0. Then you can calculate VTH by this value, so that value will be same. Then in the third step, you already got your VTH value and you already got your RTH value. Then you can connect your load resistance across nodes A and B, and then you can calculate the load current. How to calculate the load current? IL will be 13.33 divided by the total resistance by the Ohm's law. This plus this, then you will get this value. This is the Thevenin equivalent circuit, and you can calculate your current or power. Power will be IL square into RL. RL will always will be given to you. Then you have to go for the circuit reduction technique, and this is one of the techniques, and that is called Thevenin's theorem. In Thevenin's theorem, you have to go for VTH and RTH calculation for any given linear network. Next, yes, example. In this example, what it is asking, they have given RL value. Yes, they have given 5 kilo ohm, and these are the terminals across this. You have to calculate your total resistance and your total Thevenin voltage. So in first step, you want to calculate your R Thevenin across these two terminals. These two terminals are A and B. Okay, and then you want to calculate your RTH. So what are the connected resistive elements? 8K, then 4K, then 12K, and yes, you have to kill this source. Then you have to make it as short circuit. Uh, yes. Likewise, we can uh, eliminate that independent voltage source. Remember, you have to kill independent sources only. You should not kill any dependent source. Then how to calculate RTH? RTH will be parallel combination of 12K and 4K, and then that whole combination will be in series 8K. Likewise, you can calculate your RTH in kilo ohms. Then in step number 2, your circuit will be like, means you want to calculate the Thevenin's voltage across these two terminals. Then you have to consider your independent voltage source. You have to consider the whole network till that point, 4K and 8K. Okay, so you can see that there is no flow of current. So the current will be zero. The potential drop across this will also be zero. V8 will be zero. Then this will be, so this is your VThevenin. Okay, so VThevenin will be this value only. Means VThevenin will be V across the 4K voltage across the 4K. So you can write like this: if current is flowing is this in this direction, so there will be voltage drop. There will be voltage drop. So how to write the KVL equation? 48 volts minus 12K I minus 4K I equals to 0. So 48 will be 16K I, then I will be your 48 divided by 16K. You will get current in milliamperes. Then how to calculate VTH? That is equals to your V4K, and you can see that the VTH is equals to V4K, and this terminal is at higher potential. This terminal is at lower potential. Then your V4K will be 4 kilo ohms into this value, this current value. So that will be Thevenin's voltage. Yes, so you will get your Thevenin voltage as 12 volts, RTH as 11K. Then you can calculate IL as 12 divided by 11K plus 5K. Though you will get IL as 0.75 milliamperes, and VL will be the voltage across this load resistance will be IL into RL. What is your RL? That is your 5K, 5 kilo ohms. Then you will get 3.75 volts. Means okay, this is the VTH, this is RTH. If the total 12 voltage or 12 volt is applied in this network, then you will get 3.75 volts across this load resistance, and rest of the voltage will get will be dropped across this 11K resistance. Means 12 minus 3.75. So whatever you will get, that will be dropped across this element, 11K resistance. Understood? So this will be the method to calculate current, load current that is flowing across the load resistance. That will be your Thevenin's theorem. Next, Norton's theorem. In case of Norton's theorem, we want to go for KCL or nodal analysis, because it's easy to apply nodal analysis in a circuit. Means if there are parallel branches. Okay, so what does it say? Norton's theorem states that any two terminal linear and bilateral network or circuit having multiple independent and dependent sources can be represented in a simplified equivalent circuit, and that is known as Norton's equivalent circuit. In this case, you can see that the linear bilateral network can be converted into this manner. Means current source is there, and in parallel with that an equivalent resistance will be there, and this combination is across these two terminals, and across A and B we can put our RL. That is the load resistance across which we want to extract the terminal voltage and the terminal currents. Okay, so this is the first example. So how to apply Norton's theorem? Let us see. As you can see, there is a reference node, and this will be at the ground potential. This is the node number 1, and these two nodes are at same potential, let us say at V1, and this node is at 15 volts of potential. Okay, because this node and this node, this is at 0 volts and this node is at 15 volts. So this node is having 15 volts of potential. Okay, and this V1 is unknown. So how to calculate the V1? Then we have to apply our KCL. If the if the outgoing current is I in this branch, if this current is I2, and if this current is I1, then according to KCL, sum of incoming currents equals to sum of outgoing current. So what is incoming current? I1 equal to I2 plus I. Okay. Then how to write I1? I1 is flowing from this node to that node. Okay. So we have to apply our Ohm's law. 15 volts minus V1 divided by 10 equal to what is I2? I2 is flowing in this direction, so V1 minus 5 volts divided by 10 plus V1 minus 0 divided by 10. So this is how you can calculate your V1 value. Whenever you get your V1 value, then how to calculate I? I will be V1 minus 0 divided by 10. So this is how you can calculate your I. So this is how you can apply your KCL or nodal analysis. But in this case, what it is asking, this is saying that your 10 ohm is your load resistance, and I will be IL, and these two terminals are A and B, and across this we have to apply your Norton's theorem. Means you have to calculate Rn, that will be your R equivalent, and across these two terminals we have to calculate the equivalent current value In. Means we have to convert this linear bilateral circuit in into this simplified circuit. Okay, so first, in our first step, we want to calculate Rn, that will be R equivalent seen by these terminals. Okay, so what will be your circuit? Plus minus 15 volt. Yeah, you have to kill this source first, because this is an independent source. So you have to make it as a short circuit. Then this will be your 10 ohm, this will be your 10 ohm. Again you have to kill this source, this will be your 10 ohm, and then you have to calculate your R equivalent. What is the value of R equivalent? 10 ohm is in parallel with 10 ohm, so the equivalent resistance will be your 5 ohm. Then you have got it. After that, you want to calculate IN. So in order to calculate IN, you have to consider this source and this source also. So in step number 2, if you want to calculate IN, then you have to consider the whole circuit plus minus 15 volt, then 10 ohms, then this 10 ohm, and this is the plus minus 5 volts, and these are the two terminals across which you want to calculate the IN. So this is a single loop, then you can apply this I. Yes, then you can write what? 15 minus 10i minus 10i minus 5 equal to 0. Then you can calculate I equal to this, the total I that is flowing in this circuit. So that will be your IN, and you already got your Rn equals to 5 ohm. Then in step number 3, you have to make the circuit like this. Whatever value you will get, you can write here. and this will be your Rn, that will be 5 ohms. And then you have to put your load resistance across these two terminals A and B. Load resistance will be 10 ohms, and then you can calculate your IL. So this will be your total current. So IL will be after applying with the current division rule, this will be total IN into Rn divided by Rn plus RL. That will be the load current that is flowing across this RL load. This is how you can convert the given circuit into a Norton's equivalent circuit. Yeah, in this example, you can see that there is a dependent source. So, if you want to calculate Rn equivalent resistance, then you should not kill this source. But yes, you have to kill this independent source. So, how to kill this? Means we have to make it as an open circuit. So, this will be means this will be inactive. So, you just consider this 1 ohm. Yeah, which one is your load resistance? I think this, yeah. Mm, Let us calculate Rn. If this is your load resistance, yes, then what will be your circuit? This is the terminal A, and this will be the terminal B. Across this, you want to calculate your Rn. Then what will be your circuit? Like this, 1 ohm, 1 ohm, and this will be your dependent source I1 by 2. And what is I1? That is flowing through this. And yes, R equivalent. I will tell you about that. Means if there is any dependent source, okay, then you have to apply external voltage such that there will be the total current, and then you can calculate R equivalent as V divided by I. This is applicable when you have any dependent source. So you can't go for the direct method, you have to go for this method. Then after applying any external source, you can apply your mesh analysis. If this is, yeah, if this is the current flowing through this mesh, then you can write the KVL equation like this. Okay, V minus, and you can see that this is the current dependent voltage source. So you have to write, and what is the value? I1 by 2. This is the voltage, okay, and that is dependent on I1. And what is I1? That is flowing through this 1 ohm resistance. So here I1 and I both are in the same direction, and that's why I1 equals to I, okay. I1 equals to I. So okay, equation will be after going into this direction, V plus, as there is a voltage rise, this is not the voltage drop because we are going into this direction. So negative terminal, then positive terminal, so there is a potential rise, okay, and that's why we have to write the plus sign. Plus I1 by 2, its voltage value is I1 by 2 minus 1 into I1 minus this 1 ohm into I1 equals to 0. So we will be uh, 2I1 minus I1 by 2. Okay, so 1.5 I1. Then, yeah. And what is I1? I1 equals to I. So V equals to 1.5 I. Then V divided by I equals to Rn, and that will be equals to 1.5 ohm. So this is how you can calculate your R equivalent if you have any dependent source in your given circuit. Yeah, likewise, you can calculate IN, the total current that is flowing through the given linear circuit. After removing your load resistance, you can calculate the current, total current IN. If these are the terminals A and B, this is your load resistance, then you can calculate your IN by considering this circuit, 5 ampere, 1 ohm. In this case, you have to consider both dependent and independent sources. Please remember that. This is I1, and this is I1 by 2. And across this, you have to calculate the total current that is flowing through these terminals A and B. As you know that there is no flow of current here, so this I2, let us say I2 equals to 0. If I2 is 0, then what will be this current? Means the total 5 ampere will flow in this loop only. So I1 and 5 ampere both are in the same direction. I1 will be 5 ampere only. Okay, and your IN will be negative of 5 ampere. So this will be your IN, and this will be your RN, and this will be your RL. A and B, and hence you can calculate the IL after applying a current division rule. RL, what was it? Yeah, 1.5 ohm, and RL value will be 1 ohm. Okay, this is how you can calculate IL. This is your Norton's theorem. So Norton theorem is applicable for the parallel circuits. Means not applicable. Both are applicable, but it's easy to apply KCL in case of a Norton theorem or in parallel circuit. Okay, parallel circuit means where most of the elements are connected in parallel. But in case of Thevenin's theorem, it's easy to apply KVL equation or mesh analysis, or for series connected elements in a circuit. If there are many series connected elements, then you can go for mesh analysis or Thevenin's theorem. Okay, so yeah. Hmm. We will see this theorem. Next is maximum power transfer theorem. We will see this theorem in our next class. So that's all for today's class. There is just 5 minutes, so I'm ending the session. If you have any doubt, then you can send a text to me. Okay, you should have to learn the formula. Can you please tell me which formula? Means you have to learn basic rules. Means Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's current law, and Kirchhoff's voltage law. After that, you will be able to apply mesh analysis or nodal analysis. Understood? One thing that you have to remember is in any given linear or bilateral circuit, you can apply Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? V equals to IR. That is the basic rule, so that you will be able to learn KCL, KVL, mesh analysis, or nodal analysis. Understood, Vamsi?
To watch the complete video, download Mining Gyan 2.0 app from the Play Store and enjoy seamless learning with Mining Gyan 2.0.